Hello viewers, this is Mani from MASSIC Creation channel and you are watching Vagrant and VirtualBox series. So in this video I will demonstrate how you can add additional disk to the running VM. Okay, so let me switch to the VS Code over here. So I have created three methodologies. So using this methodology you can able to add additional disk. So in first methodology, so we are going to use CentOS 8 image. Okay, and it will add only one disk to the running VM. Okay, in second methodology we are going to use Ubuntu 64 image, and this script will add two disks to the running VM. And the third methodology is we are going to use the same image, but it will add three disks to the VM. Okay, so let me first discuss with the first methodology. So in this method we are going to use same image. We are going to use CentOS 8 image, and the name of the VM will be single disk VM. So it means it will add only one disk to the VM, and we are using 2 GB of memory and 2 CPUs. And so here you can see, first of all I'm just creating a disk with the name disk2.vdi. okay, so VDI is nothing but virtual disk image. So the name we are saving this name in the to the variable file2 disk2. Okay, and next I am creating a condition. It will check whether this file is available or not. It will check in the current directory whether this file is available or not. If it is not available, then it will create a disk. Okay, then it will create a disk with the name file2 disk2. Okay, with the size 1 GB. Okay, so once it gets created, then it will execute vb.customize script. vb.customize parameter. So when we create a disk, it will create a ID. Okay, so disk so whenever you create any resource, okay, it will assign an ID to the resource. Okay, so in our case we are going to create a disk, so which is a resource. So the disk will get ID. So that ID will be stored in this location. Colon ID will be replaced over here. And we are going to use storage controller IDE. By default, CentOS 7 or 8 both will use the same storage controller, which is IDE. And here we have port 1. Port 1 is nothing but is the additional storage, additional disk that we are adding to the VM. If it is a port 0, then that would be the root disk for the VM, and port 1 is for the additional disk. Okay, and device 0, that one is the default one. And type is hard disk drive. We are going to use as the type hard disk drive, and medium is the name of the file2 disk2. Okay, so this is the very first method. So we are going to create a single VM and a single disk. Okay, so let me switch back to the command mode over here. So in this here we are going to use the git bash. So you can also use git bash for executing the commands. So currently I am in this location. Okay, and I have a Vagrant file. So this is the same Vagrant file that we discussed a few minutes back. Okay, so let me execute the command. Okay, let me execute the Vagrant up command over here. Okay, and I will just bring the VirtualBox over here. As you can see, I don't have any VMs right now. So this Vagrant up command will create one VM with the name single disk VM, and it will attach one disk. Okay, so the machine is coming up. Okay, so now it has started creating the VM. So first of all, it's just importing the base OS image. So this is CentOS 8. Okay, so as you can see, controller is the IDE and IDE primary master. Okay, so here you can see the size of the root disk is 10 GB. Okay, so just please focus on storage part. So it will create one. Yeah, now you can see it's created the another disk with the name disk2.vdi with the size 1 GB. Okay, now we switch back to the VS Code. Now you see, earlier we don't see disk2.vdi, but now we can see disk2.vdi because it has created a file with the name disk2.vdi and its size has 1 GB. Okay, anyway we can verify this one later as well. Okay, so now the VM is completely up now, and you can see the name of the VM is single disk VM, and it has only one disk. Okay, so we can verify this one now. So I'm just giving ls now. So now you can see Vagrant file, and along with that we have disk2.vdi. So earlier we don't have this disk2.vdi. Now it has created. Okay, and I'm just giving ls LTR. The size of the disk is 1G. Okay, so by default this disk2.vdi is the thin provisioning. It means it won't create 1 GB as it is. So first of all it will create maybe I think as 2 MB. Yeah, first of all it will create 2 MB. So once this so depending upon your storage, the disk will get extended automatically. So okay, we are calling this one as a thin provisioning. Okay, I'm just giving Vagrant SSH now. So I'm just trying to access this VM now. Okay, so now we logged inside this VM. I'm just switching to sudo user. I'm just executing the command ls-blk. Yeah, here it is. So now you can see. So we have 10 GB as the root disk and SDA, and SDB has 1 GB of size. Okay, okay, fine. Now let me switch back to the VS Code again. Okay, now we are going to see the methodology too. Okay. Okay, so in method 2 we are going to use the image Ubuntu Trusty64, and same we are going to use 1 GB of memory and 2 CPUs. Okay, and name of the VM will be 2 disk VM. So, and if you notice the script, we are going to create 2 disks with the name second disk and third disk. So we are using the script twice over here. So the rest of the things will be same over here. Okay, okay, now let me switch back to the command line. So I'm just coming out from this location. So I'm just logging to the okay, this is disk VM Ubuntu. Okay, the name of the directory is disk VM Ubuntu. Okay, so if I give ls, you can see only one Vagrant file. So we are going to use the same Vagrant file here. Okay, now I am going to execute Vagrant up command over here. Okay, so now we have only one VM with the name single disk VM. Okay, so now you can see that it start importing the image. Okay, and VM. Okay, now the name has been changed to 2 disk VM. Okay, now we can start focusing on storage part here. So the size of the root disk is 40 gigabytes over here, but for CentOS 8 we have seen 10 gigabyte. So here we have 40 gigabyte, and it start creating the additional disk with the name second disk and third disk, and with the size 1 gigabyte. Okay, so you can see we have successfully added 2 disks in this VM. Okay, fine. Okay, then now the VM is completely up now. Okay, so I'm just giving ls now. So you can see we have three files now. One file is the Vagrant file, another 2 file is the disk 2 and disk 3. But interestingly, if you see that for Ubuntu VM, it start creating 1 gigabyte of disk. I mean, it has created 2 gigabyte. I mean, it has created 2 disks with the size 1 gigabyte. Okay. For CentOS, it doesn't create a 1 gigabyte of disk completely. It has created only the 2 megabyte of disk. Maybe depending upon the image, I mean the size of disk will get changed, I guess. Okay, let me access the VM now. Vagrant SSH. Okay, so now we have logged inside the VM. I'm just switching out to root user, and I'm just executing ls-blk command. Okay, so now we can see we have 3 disks. Okay, SDA, SDB, and SDC. Okay, let me come out from this VM now, and let me switch back to the VS Code again. Now let me discuss about the methodology 3, and you can see now we have 2 files with the name disk second disk and third disk. Okay, now we will discuss about the method 3. Okay, so in method 3 we are going to use the same image, the same memory and same CPU, and name of the VM will be 3 disk VM, and we are going to automate creating the additional disk. So first I am defining the variable with the integer value 1, 2 and 3. So it means it will create 3 disks, and using a for loop I am just creating a disk one by one. Okay, so the parameters are same, there is no difference in the parameter. Okay, and let me switch back to the command line to now execute the code. I'm just coming out from the code again, and disk VM Ubuntu script, I guess. Yeah, and if I am giving ls, I can see only one Vagrant file. I'm just getting out that Vagrant file. So this is the script we are going to use right now. Okay, and I'm going to execute Vagrant up command. Okay, so initially it will run the disk script, and it will show the how many disks that it's going to create. It will show the output like hard drive 1, 2 and 3, something like that frequently. So after that it will bring up the VM. Okay, so now the VM has been launched and it has created over here with the name 3-disk VM. Okay, let's focus on the storage part over here. Yeah, now it start creating the additional disk. So the root disk has 40 gigabyte and the additional disk has 1 gigabyte of each disk. Okay, so totally it has 4 disk. Okay, so the VM is completely up now. Okay, so let me access the VM here. So right now we have 4 files. Okay, so now it has created a 3 disk over here, and let me access the VM now. Vagrant SSH. Okay, so successfully we have logged inside the VM now. I'm just switching back to the root user. I'm just executing blk command here. Okay, so as you can see that, so totally we have 4 disks over here. Okay, yeah, so that's it for now. So just try this method, it's so simple. And if you have any queries, just let me know in the comment section. And if you like this video, just share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thank you.